Welcome back to another episode of the Otakuology Podcast. I'm your host, Otaku Mike. With me, as always, is Jen, my co-host for this podcast, who forgot my birthday. Just saying. He forgot my birthday.
Hey, when this episode airs, it'll already be past your birthday anyway.
I know, it will be past my birthday, but just saying. Just saying.
Do we have an episode coming out today?
Today?
Yeah.
I think it's Bubblegum Crisis.
Well, we didn't bring it up to him.
Because we pre-record, okay? We pre-record these episodes. We've actually gotten pretty good at pre-recording them, so we have a little backlog.
So whenever this one comes out, it'll be way past your... It'll probably be my birthday when this one comes out.
It'll probably be like halfway through December.
Yeah. See, look, that's close to my birthday. I guess you better tell me happy birthday now.
Happy birthday in the future, buddy. Happy future birthday.
Happy future birthday.
But we are taking a little trip away from the gangs, the mafia, and the cyberpunk, and the robots. And we are taking a trip back.
Whoa.
What?
You're going to have to state stuff that's actually true.
What's that?
So we need like the gangs, the science experiment undead, the rock bands, and the boomers.
Oh, the boomers, yeah. And we're leaving that. We're leaving that right there off to the side. And we're coming back to the My Happy Marriage anime because apparently we're not done because we have an extra episode. Which we talked about this a little bit on the last time we covered this show.
We did, because at the time when we covered it, the OVA wasn't completed.
I don't. So I have things to say about this.
I have many things to say about this.
But let's get into talking about this episode.
Well, so I'll say one thing right now.
Okay.
So the thing that I have the biggest problem is this makes no sense as an OVA.
Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't at all.
It makes no sense as an OVA because of all the things that happen, and it goes right in line with the story.
Well, let's get in. Fine, let's get into this part. Now, it should not have been an OVA.
It should not have been an OVA.
It shouldn't, because an OVA is like an extra little story that you get, in the show.
Doesn't fit with the story at all.
Doesn't necessarily fit the story. Just little story you get. And this was a big fucking part of the story.
No shit.
Because, they talked about this in the anime. Like, hey, we're going to go to this, dinner party.
Well, and they showed this in the anime.
Yeah.
The first part.
Yeah.
I don't view this as an OVA. What was the title? Do you remember the title of the 12th episode?
Let me look and see. It was The Shape of My Happiness. No, wait, that was episode 13, sorry. That was the OVA episode. It was The Light in the Darkness.
Okay, so for me, that one should have just been The Light in the Darkness Part 1, and this should have been The Light in the Darkness Part 2.
Or The Darkness and the Light.
Yeah, they could have done that. That would have been a cool play. That would have been a cool play.
Yeah, but let's get into this and talk. We pick up at the end of the credits of the last episode where Miyo and Kiyoka were not there. Well, Miyo is getting ready, and Hazuki comes in, and she senses that Miyo is a little nervous and not ready to show herself in public because she doesn't feel like she's like a lady, a proper lady. She hasn't got all her training in to be a pro.
I'm not ready.
She's like, I'm not ready. And we see this little boy, this little mysterious little boy, who we'll get to in a minute.
This is kind of weird.
We'll get to in a minute. And so she goes out, and we see the scene, which it's a really nice, touching scene, I feel like, of Kiyoka and Miyo talking, about kind of almost like everything that happened in like a nutshell. And they're talking like, oh, kind of promise themselves to each other and whatnot. And they go up into like the party. And Miyu's very nervous and everybody's looking at her and stuff. And Kiyoka is trying to like, calm her nerves and stuff. And then we see Hazuki, and Hazuki comes up and does the same thing. And then we meet the new character.
The new guy.
The new guy. What's his name? Like Asuna?
Asahi?
Asahi is his name? I don't know if I said Asuna. Asahi. We meet Asahi, and Asahi is the son of Kyoka's sister.
Did you forget the name?
I forgot her name. What was her name? What was her name? I forgot.
I had it in my mind.
Hasaki?
I had it in my mind because I know it starts with an H, and then instantly my mind went to.
I don't know why I forgot her name was Hazuki.
Well, so I was sitting here thinking, I was like, I know it starts with an H. I was sitting there thinking about it, and my brain was automatically going to, her name is Horchata, and I was like, no, we're not even in the same universe for that one.
But yeah,
yep.
we find out that this little boy,
sweet innocent little boy,
sweet innocent little boy,
fuck this kid.
Fuck this kid indeed. But his name is Asahi, and we find out that he is the son of Kyoka's sister. And he has a little incident with Miyo, and he kind of like scolds her that, he scolds her for not bowing properly.
Yeah, bowing.
Yeah. Which I'm like, what a little fucking little bitch. Like,
yeah, I thought he's trying to be cute when he first did it. Then he just kind of stayed on her, and I was like, that's not cute.
He kind of stays on her like the whole episode.
Yeah.
Like, even when Hazuki tells him to like kind of like back off, and like she's like, and he was like, oh no, it's okay, but like he's kind of like a fucking asshole.
Yeah, he is.
He's a big asshole.
Yeah, he is.
He should get eaten by the grotesqueries.
The little boy?
Yeah, I think he should get eaten by the grotesqueries. He's not.
That seems a little fucked up.
I mean, he does some kind of fucked up shit in this. Just saying.
He's stupid. He should get eaten.
He deserves what he deserves when it's coming to him.
He's hurting people's feelings. He just needs to get eaten by a grotesquerie guy.
He can't do that to Miss Miyo. Okay.
Yeah. Forget the kid.
He can't do that. We gotta kill him. Okay.
Oh my god. And the death she comes.
But what happens after this little incident, Jen?
After the bowing incident?
Yeah.
She kind of goes around, and they kind of are split up a little bit. Her and Hazuki. Kiyoka. Yeah. And she kind of gets to like experience the rest, which I do like the little part after he tells her that, and they go to talk to somebody else, him and his mom. Mm-hmm. And then Miyo looks over at him, and she can tell that he's staring at her, and she gives him like a little wave, and he's still acting like a little dick. He's like, bleh.
I must have missed that part.
Oh, where he did that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, bleh, and stuck his tongue out at her and stuff.
Was that around the time where, like, was it Goda who was sitting drunk in the corner complaining to Koji's brother?
It was after that.
I love the part where he was complaining about...
Koji's brother and everything was the part after that.
Yeah, I love the part where he was complaining about Kiyoka. He was like, why isn't he giving me attention?
Oh, yeah.
He was fucking drunk.
This is like the first part where I was like...
Do you think he has a thing for Kiyoka?
I was like... I I didn't know he was supposed to be a gay character.
I mean, maybe he's closeted. Who knows?
I don't know. I think really it was just him like playing on shit, but
You think
I
so?
mean, we could be wrong.
Who knows? Yeah, we could be wrong.
I just think he's like now because remember the first time he hit on Mio.
Yeah, he did.
So I think it's just he sees the relationship and he's envious, and then he's like, why couldn't he be nice before? Like he's always been this hard person, and yet like it's not raining down on him. Because I mean, sad to say, but this guy is kind of I don't know. He kind of feels like the Mooch character to me.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, where like he would prefer everything to be easy.
Oh, you like now I get a girl because Kiyoka has a girl type of thing.
No, like just easier on him. Like so
Oh,
he's because he's like his second in command.
yeah.
He's like, if I'm not doing it, you do it, things like that. I feel like he would be like, oh, well, yeah, you can go home early and go have some drinks or something like that. I kind of feel like that's the part of it is not like there's a love interest in there.
I kind of hope for like there's like some kind of weird fucked up love triangle, an
Oh my God.
unacquainted love triangle.
No, because you know what they would do?
What?
Koji's brother would be the romantic partner for that.
Oh
That's
man.
that's probably what it would turn into.
Yeah, but Kyoka ends up going to Mio, and he's like, "Hey, you're still a little nervous. Let's go outside. I got something I want to show you and whatnot." And they end up going outside, and they meet Tatsuhito, I believe is his name.
Yeah, Tatsuhito.
Takahito is his name. Sorry,
Good shit.
Takahito. And they sit down and talk. And Takahito is the son of like the emperor.
Yeah, the
And
one that got taken down.
the one who got taken down in the last episode. And we find out all this shit that's happened is because of the Emperor. Like the Saimoris like falling, the Usaba's falling, their company going under, this and that, having to wed Mio off for money. It's all because of the Emperor, we find out.
Yeah.
What did you think of this revelation?
I mean, to be honest,
Yeah.
really nothing.
Really?
I was like, oh man, yeah, I could see that fucker doing that. Like,
Oh,
because we'd already had stuff like that all along. Like, it
yeah.
just when he said that, I was like, oh, that makes such
But
perfect sense.
yeah, it does make such perfect sense because, you wouldn't, they didn't know that he had involvement, but it turns out he had involvement in everything.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
he picked a family that didn't have a lot of gifted individuals in it
right, right.
for the Saimoris. He was basically like,
Which that was a really funny part to me. I don't know if you thought it was so funny, but basically when he was like, when I picked the Saimoris, they were a family that was really low on birth rates of special children.
yeah.
And whenever he said that, I was like sitting there thinking about Mr. Saimori, like, oh, he said your dick is dry. Your family sucks.
He's shooting those magic blanks.
Right. So, so I kind of wonder, yeah, if like the place that Mio and Hana get their magic abilities from are basically their moms.
Yeah.
Because,
Well, I mean, Mr.
know,
Saimori had magical gifts.
not
I
that we
don't
know of.
know he did because he used like a magical barrier at one point when he was fighting with Kyoka.
No,
Like
that
he
was
was,
the other guy.
yeah, but he was helping him. Like he was helping him with the magical barrier at one point.
Helping
The Koji's dad, I believe.
No, that was Koji's dad doing all that.
I could have sworn he like helped him at one point
Nope.
because we never see uh, Kaya's mom use any magical abilities
That's true too.
like at all.
Uh, I'm really thinking that both of them, Mr. What's his face?
Samori.
Yeah, Mr. Samori and the mom both are blanks
Maybe. Who knows?
because I think besides Kaya, like, and they obviously didn't know from Miyo. I really don't think any of them have any special gifts.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because I could have sworn he used some magical ability in that episode.
No, I'm pretty sure it was just Koji's daddy.
Well, let's move on. Okay, let's move on. And so
Let's move
we
on.
find out all this stuff, and Mio is basically like, you know what? I don't care all this stuff happened. All this stuff happened for a reason, obviously, and I'm glad it happened. She says,
Yeah, for reasons unknown.
for reasons unknown. And they kind of like depart and stuff, and we also find out that the Emperor lost his like magical sight power.
Yeah,
So
and was lying about it.
he was lying about it and stuff, and which I was like, oh, he's telling stories now,
Right?
which I wonder if Mia was like his last sight that he had,
Mia was his last
like his last like
of what she was gonna do or
yeah, his like
accomplish.
divine sight or whatever,
That's actually pretty. I think that's pretty good on the money, honestly.
Yeah,
Because I don't see him having anything else substantial that could even mean anything.
I picture like this might sound really bad, but the Emperor
Okay.
being like an Alex Jones type of person, just coming up with shit.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, they're turning the frogs gay.
Oh yeah.
Just coming up with like random shit and people just believe in him.
I don't know what's going on with these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get that, and then we get the scene where Asahi. Is it Asahi? No. What's the little boy's name?
Asahi.
Asahi? That's what it is. I can't want to say Asana for some reason. Asahi is running. He's walking through with a drink in his hand. Do you think he has like orange juice in his hand, or he's drinking like wine or something?
So I'm gonna go out on a limb on this one. I think it's actually like pear juice or something like
You
that,
think so?
or like a mango juice. Yeah.
He's just drinking, and he gets scared because he sees Mio, and he runs into this woman's ass, and he
Oh
like
yeah. Can we talk about that for a moment?
Go-
I thought he sunk in there like. And it's weird because whenever you watch that part, like him running into her compared to after they show, like it looks like he's about to get eaten by it.
He's gonna be eaten by her ass. She's got a dump truck.
Yeah, but before that, like when he initially bumps into her, like I don't think there's that big of a problem, but I feel like in that part the art was kind of off a little bit.
Yeah,
because I mean, it was, to quote a line that I think everybody understands, that's a huge bitch. Because I mean, that's exactly what it looked like.
She was thick.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have no idea.
But he ends up throwing his drink up in the air, and it gets all over Mio's dress, her nice white dress. Yeah. And Hazuki goes to help Miyo clean it up. Asahi is basically sulking in a corner, and
I didn't mean to.
Hazuki basically, she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. he should have never done this." And Miyo's like, "Oh no, it's okay." And like Hazuki starts to talk to Asahi, and she's like, "Why did you do this? What's going on? Miss Miyo is basically family." And his dad walks in, which we've seen his dad before. We just didn't know him and
Oh
Hazuki
yeah,
were married.
we've seen his dad multiple times.
Yes.
It whenever we saw him walk in, it really like he first walked in, I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be him, isn't it? And it totally threw me off. I was like, the hell?
And they were like, "Oh, this is my ex-husband. This is Asahi's dad." And Mio's like, "What?" And I think we were all like like Mio was like, "What the fuck?"
Yes.
Because I mean, let's be honest. Like, men seem to treat women so bad in this series most of the time, and to see him come in and like not be upset, not be rude to Hazuki at all, like
Yeah.
to them just talk it out, and like it was so fucking awkward. I was like, I don't know if this is like legit like co-parenting, how co-parenting should be, but I mean, they like were in and out in like 5 seconds of co-parenting.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I mean, and there's no real way I feel like of knowing any of that, honestly. Because I mean, there's so much that's with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think we could really like pick anything out with any of that.
Yeah.
Um, just because of how all the stuff like works and happens and stuff, like, and obviously, like, we all remember like how that stuff happened whenever it was like, hey, I can't be with you anymore, which it was because of what's his face's parents,
Yeah, it was because
but
of his family,
yeah,
not because of
so
him.
yeah, so I'm kind of like, where are we going with this little part, so to
Yeah.
speak? But
It was really interesting, like to see like their dynamic and how they seem to both have like respect for each other,
yeah, that's true.
even though they like weren't together, they still were there for Asahi
Yeah,
and
that's true.
stuff, and she even brings up the point like, oh, I love Miss Mio, and stuff, and was it she says, or is it he say, he says that Hazuki loves Miss Mio more or something like that. And she's like, well, who do you love more, me or your dad? And he's like, I can't choose.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
who I love more.
yeah. She put him on the spot on that one.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. And we find out that there's a misunderstanding that because Hazuki only gets to see her son once a month for the moment because of things that are going on,
Right.
with the whole
Yep. Yep.
with the whole training and stuff. And he becomes very jealous of like the time that is being taken away from him because she's
Yes, he
helping out
is.
Miyo and stuff,
Yes.
which I feel like they do have a really nice resolution to this point. Like Miyo's family, and we're gonna help Miyo out.
This is true. Yeah,
And
I
he,
I agree with that.
and as a kid, like he has to come to terms with that. Like, oh, like your parents' time is gonna be split apart.
That's true. Well, and one other thing on that, I really feel like they didn't tell him that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No,
Like
go ahead, elaborate.
like we had this whole part where they were talking to him about, oh, well, this stuff happens and da da da, and you're kind of like sitting there in that part thinking about like, and then they do the part where she looks at the dad and
Mm-hmm.
he's like, oh yeah, like we know this stuff, da 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 da, and he just doesn't seem like they're being 100% on like the reason why they're split up,
Yeah.
because I don't think to him he really understands that.
Probably not.
Like they're not telling him that, and he thinks, and he's throwing it on Mio, that's the reason why his mom's not around as much, which I mean does have like a little bit to do with it. I mean, we can't really lie on that part, but
Yeah.
the rest of it I feel like comes down to the parents and like, hey, you guys are saying this, but that's not so much true.
He's very much trying to put the blame all on Miyo,
Right, right.
but it's not the case, But after that, they kind of have a happy little ending at this point. And then we get the scene where Miyo and Kazuki go home. And Miyo gets a letter, but I don't remember who the letter exactly is from.
I don't know because I don't actually remember this part.
Yeah, she gets a letter and she flips it over real fast, and there's a name on it, but I want to say it's from Koji probably, because we see Koji like training and stuff, and we see Kaya actually too for a split second, like cleaning floors. So they get their like they're like, oh, what they've been doing, stuff like that.
I totally missed that whole
Yeah, so
part.
I kind of wonder if it was from Koji. The letter was from maybe. I'll have to go back and watch this episode. But we get this nice scene where like we see Kiyoka talking, like monologuing, almost like, oh, is this what like we need and stuff like that? Does Miyo need this? Moving
Right, right.
forward and stuff. And we get probably one of the most anime trope scenes, I feel like, in this anime at this point, where he leans in to give her a kiss and it gets interrupted.
Yeah.
It gets interrupted by Arata. Arata shows up. Oh my God. When he showed up, I was like, oh my God. Like, I thought we were done with him for a while.
Yeah.
But he shows up and he's like, hey, hire me to be Miss Miyo's bodyguard.
You're like,
And
why are you still in this anime?
yeah, why are you still in this anime?
You're supposed to be gone.
Yeah. And Kiyoka, I feel like Kiyoka is thinking the exact same thing. She's like, "Oh, what the hell's going on? I have to go to work.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here? Like, what's going on? And then Hazuki shows up too, as well.
Yes.
To basically like throw her 2 cents in the whole situation, which is really funny to see.
Yeah. Well, and so I kind of wonder if they will get together.
I kind of wonder that as well, because they kind of had like a little glancing moment almost.
Yeah, yeah.
But let me throw this at you, because Hazuki is divorced. We don't really know what she does, and she is a single mother. Would you consider her damaged goods in this universe? I don't know if damaged goods is the right thing to say, but like,
Yeah, I was like,
not really damaged goods, but like an marriageable person, I guess you could say.
no, I wouldn't say that.
Like, oh, she's got that baggage of having a kid and being divorced, stuff like that.
No, I wouldn't say that. I think that she's still very much desirable. I think there's just a lot of stuff going on and whatnot. And I also feel like there's a little bit that's getting left out with her character, if that makes sense. Because I feel like if she was more of like somebody that pushed a little more on things, then she could have like whatever she wanted. I mean, she'd be more of a raunchy character at that point.
Yeah.
But I do think that she could almost have any guy that she wanted if that was a possibility.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get it. Like I like her character. I think she's a very good character,
Yeah.
She's a very strong like woman in this series. Like, she's very independent, it seems like.
Yes.
And is very much coming to her own, after what we've learned of her and stuff. But it was just a thought that I had, like, would she be like undesirable because she has like all that extra stuff, Kind of like how Miyo was supposed to be when they thought Kiyoka was just going to toss her aside,
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
I have no clue on that.
yeah. But
That is
it's always kind of like been in the back of my mind, like why wasn't she tossed to the side and thrown out to the streets, having to beg for food and coin? It's just always kind of like run that been in my head.
yeah, yeah.
Just
No,
just
I mean
think,
that's
just thinking about it.
understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's understandable. Um, I don't know because there's a bunch of stuff I guess in that you could really look at or see.
Hmm.
Um, of if Mio was thrown out in the streets. I mean, we kind of already know a little bit about that though. Like we know she would be picked up by what's their faces.
Koji's family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't 100% know if that would happen, but I mean, I agree with you. It's a possibility.
Yeah. But I,
Uh,
I love the way this episode ends, where um, Kiyoka, I almost forgot his name, Kiyoka, he's getting ready to leave, and Mio goes to him and he gives him his briefcase, ties his little hair tie thing, makes it a little tighter. And she asks him to lean in, and we think that she's going to like try to go in for the kiss.
that's what I thought because they
Yeah,
did have an interrupted kiss earlier.
they did. But I love this scene where she just gives him the head pat. She just pats his head. I thought it was cute. I thought it was cute
That
and
was
adorable.
that was too funny.
It was funny. It was cute.
It was
It was unexpected.
it was way too funny because I was
It,
like, "What?"
and to see his face, he was like I don't know what to do at this point because I'm the one who normally gives the head pats.
This is true.
I'm being thrown off my game.
This is true.
She now wears the pants in the family.
Yeah, yeah. You're not
Kyoka
lying on that one.
Kyoka is no longer the alpha male.
Hi, I'm Kiyoka. Hi, Kiyoka.
No, but I love the ending to this. It was so much fun. My biggest complaint about this,
Yeah,
honestly, is that it should have just been the 13th episode and ended the season.
that's true. I don't understand why they wouldn't have done anything like that. That's one of the things that's confusing
It's
with
conf-
this
it's
and
confusing
why.
because it feels like they just took out the back half of the conclusion of this season and held it for no
Yeah,
reason.
yeah, yeah.
And
Because
said it's a special episode when in reality there's nothing that really special about it.
no, no, there's not. And that's like I said, that's another thing I'm just confused on with part of that. Like, why would you do that or hold on to something or whatever, and then just kind of tell us like, hey, no, that's not really a thing
Yeah,
here.
that's not really a thing because this OVA,
Yeah.
the OVA got released back in March 15th of this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, according to this Wikipedia, because the last two episodes of this series or this season were released in September. So I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. Unless they didn't have anything to work off of with like the manga, maybe this story was in like an extra part of the manga. I don't know, but it just doesn't really warrant like that specialness of being an OVA because OVAs are just extra stuff. This felt like it needed to be a part of it because it felt pretty important to the story.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and I just don't understand. Like, I just don't understand. And then they call it episode 13, the OVA on Netflix is what they call it.
Yes. Yes. No, I agree with you on that. Like, I don't understand like that part either. Like, because they want to say that, and it doesn't make any sense why that would ultimately be a thing in
Because
this.
like we said before, they built up to this party. They built
Yes.
up to this in the show. It was a pivotal plot in the show for a while. Was her becoming a young lady and like going to like what they call it, like not reform school, what they call it, what was it called?
The class that she took with what's her
Yeah,
face,
yeah,
like like ladyship school or something like
yeah,
that.
something like that. Yeah, yeah, and I feel like because they held off on this, it really diminishes that last episode in season 1, episode 12.
This is true. It's especially because of how they tried to leave you on almost like a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it
Like
was a bad cliffhanger.
with that episode, I feel like everything kind of got ended cute and sweet.
Yeah,
And when they threw that little part that's like a cliffhanger, I feel like they tried to do it as like a come back for season 2 kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
But I mean, honestly, this one made me feel more of that than that one did.
yeah.
I mean, 12 just. This one was more superior, I feel like, in every way with that.
Yeah, and I feel like if they would have released this as the final episode of season 1, like this anime season would be almost near perfect, I would feel like,
Yes,
in a
yes.
sense.
No, I'll agree with that. I believe the same thing, that it would be a lot better and
Because
it would
it's
be
almost like
more
an epilogue.
understandable. Yes.
It's almost like an epilogue for this season.
Yeah.
You know, and we do introduce that new character, unfortunately, and we hope he dies. But, you know,
Jesus.
I hope he does not come back. I hope he does not become like a recurring character.
The little boy?
Yes.
Gosh.
He was so annoying.
Who knew how bloodthirsty you were, Otaku Mike?
Look, he was annoying and he had a bowl cut.
Forget
Okay?
that kid.
He had a bowl cut, and bowl cuts are stupid.
Well, that was a touch I did like, not on the bowl cut, but I liked that they did on his character, was that his hair was kind of in between both of his parents.
Yeah, it was like a brownish blonde color.
Yeah, so I like how they did that, and you could kind of tell how him and Kiyoya were kind of like the same family.
Uh-huh.
Like face looked somewhat similar, and
Yeah, he very much looked like Hazuki a little bit
yeah.
with
So,
the eyes.
I mean, we had like a lot of that stuff that I think fit pretty well.
Yeah. My only real complaint is the fact that they should just put this at the end.
Yeah.
Because
No, I agree with you.
for like I said, being an OVA, it's like an extra special story.
Yeah, something not related to the main part. I mean,
Yeah.
like, especially like with what we're covering right now, like all the stuff with Bubblegum Crisis, could almost say that the whole thing is an OVA
Well, they are OVAs.
because none of them like go in tangent, but this
Yeah.
one is like the farthest thing from an OVA.
Yeah, they are OVAs because they're original video animation. You know, they're not supposed to be shown on like regular TV. They usually have higher budget. This seemed to have the exact same budget as the rest of the show.
Yeah, and
Like,
went in line with the rest of the show.
yeah, went in line with the rest of the show, you know? The only
Yeah.
time I've ever actually seen an OVA was really interesting. It was a bridge between season 1 and season 2.
Yeah.
Was the Genshiken OVAs, which was like a 3 or 4 episode like OVA.
Yeah, yeah.
And you had to go buy another anime, which was they had the anime within the anime of Genshiken.
Yeah.
So they made an anime into real life an anime. But you had to go, in order to watch the Genshiken OVA, you had to buy that anime.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. And then
Oh
they
goodness.
eventually released it like within like the Genshigens, a special Genshigen set you could buy.
Oh
Um,
goodness. That
yeah,
that sounds like a brain teaser right
it
there.
is kind of a brain teaser because the anime they released to put out alongside the Genshiken OVAs are actually really good.
Yeah.
Um, but it was like Kujibiki Unbalanced, I believe it was what it was called. It's not very good because it's the
Oh
anime
my.
they watch in the first season of the show.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's not watch that one. Let's not.
we should if we ever find Genshiken, we should watch Genshiken streaming. If we can find like streaming or whatever. That's a fucking good show.
Maybe.
It's a good
Maybe.
show.
Maybe.
It's a good show.
I
But yeah,
I know,
what did
but
all in all,
the
what did you think of this this ending to season one?
um
The actual true ending
yeah.
to season one.
I thought it was pretty good. I think it made a lot more sense having this than the other one that we've had.
Yeah, yeah.
It stood out a lot more, and I just think it was overall better
Mm-hmm.
than what that one was trying to portray as the ending.
Yeah, I actually do think it's a lot better than what well like I agree with you on that actually wholeheartedly on that.
Yeah,
It wrapped up really nice and it very much this one very much made me like excited to see okay like they're really progressing in
yeah,
their
yeah,
relationship at this point like he almost kissed her.
yeah. He did.
He almost locked lips on her.
There's almost some sparks in there.
Yeah, he probably was about to use some tongue, playing some tonsil hockey or something.
Uh, I don't know if I'd go that far.
You never know. You never know. But yeah, I thought this very much like move things going forward and open things up like story wise. I feel
That's true. Yeah,
like what the fuck's gonna happen now?
yeah. What is going to happen now? Because
Yeah,
that is definitely a big thing. I think that we're going to have to figure out and know if there is, especially like going into whenever we're going to have our episode 2, like what else is going to be in that. And we'll kind of have to, I feel like if we do cover the first one, kind of
yeah,
forget about this episode and then bring it back up and talk about it. Like if this one wasn't there, would that one make sense?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. Like it very much wraps things up pretty nicely.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I just don't like the way they released this at all.
No,
No.
I thought it was kind of stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it didn't make a lot of sense compared to the rest of what it could have, should have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Agree. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. But yeah, that was episode 13, the OVA for My Happy Marriage.
The non-existent OVA.
The non-existent. It's a secret OVA. Okay. It's like the Yu Yu Hakusho OVA.
That doesn't exist either.
They do, but they're super short.
It doesn't exist either.
Okay. Okay. No, I really think it was probably a rights thing, and like that the OVA was separate from the original licensing
Yeah.
of the original season one. That's usually how it works.
Yeah.
That's why how you don't see a lot of the OVA episodes on like discs or being aired in like order of the animes. So like that's why we always got like the OVAs for Full Metal Alchemist in a different set than what we got on the like the actual sets and stuff like that.
Okay. I just thought it was because some motherfucker was cheap, but
No, like it's a different licensing that you have to pay for an OVA versus like the episodes. But this doesn't
yeah.
seem like an OVA, and it should have just been part of the original of the actual season.
No,
Like,
I really feel like if I was gonna view this as an OVA, I would probably, especially with the company that did it, I would probably be very upset because of how this one goes in line with it.
yeah,
And to say, well, you have to pay for this stuff and you got to pay for the OVA, I think I'd be really pissed at somebody.
Yeah, because they have to pay for each individual episode, each for the seasons.
Yeah.
It's not like a whole lump sum. They have to pay, it was like thousands of dollars an episode.
Yeah.
And then you have like, oh, I got this extra episode for you guys, but it's going to cost you more. You know?
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel that way too. That they hung it over their head and then came back to it.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah. Sadly, it is what it is. I know we can be annoyed all we want, but that's what they did with the anime.
Oh yeah, we're annoyed all we want.
Yeah.
Pissed.
Yeah, no. I really enjoyed this. I would give it a 5 out of 5. I thought it was fun.
Anarchy. Yeah.
Dogs and cats playing together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would give it a 5 out of 5. Like, I feel like it definitely completes this season.
I feel like that's kind of generous.
Okay.
I would honestly say, because of the problems that we had out of it, I would.
Well, I mean, like story-wise, I think it gets 5 out of 5.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
I might be being too generous, you say. So how about like throwing in the problems we had? How about a 3.5?
I mean, you could go with a 4.
3.5, 4-ish?
Yeah, you could go with a 4.
Okay. A strong 4.
Yeah, because I'm going to go with a 3.5.
Okay.
We could both be picking the same one, okay?
Not for this. I'm sorry.
No, I'd probably say a 4 as well.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I thought it was a real closer / game changer to the whole thing. But I don't see this part as mattering in the scope of everything as it being an OVA. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So no, if this was actual part of the actual series, I feel like we could be a little more honest about it and go, yeah, this is totally makes sense. Like, yeah, it could be there, but because of what they did with it, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, that was the episode. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. You can leave us comments on our Spotify account or Apple Podcasts. Or you can hit us up on our Instagram. Let us know what you think of the podcast. Give us some feedback. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
See y'all next Tuesday.